Holy shit. I just got a 5-piece with a Sundance grenade.
Keep both eyes open, no pats. We have no idea
Left
what
or
you
right?
will find down there.
Left. Left.
I'll just follow you guys.
So there's been a lot of talk throughout the life of this game that there's an issue very deeply with thermal scopes and realistically another thermal scope that is really a infrared scope. But the people are upset that it doesn't see through smoke. Now, obviously, I understand the sentiment. It is very annoying that you can't see through smoke with a thermal sight of some kind, as realistically you would expect it to, especially considering pretty much every other game lets you do that. So people are trying to blame this thing, that thing. Oh well, they could have fixed it doing this. They could fix it doing this. For example, this guy here says they need concealment smoke, lasts longer, plumes wider, can carry to on assault, incendiary concussion, etc. This guy essentially wants two different kinds of smoke. Infrared blocking smoke, which is a thing, by the way, puts out a different kind of particle that blocks infrared sights and cameras. And that would be a good idea. He also wants flashbangs that would affect IR, which infrared, which is a good idea. Flashlights should also blind the shit out of anybody using something like that. But the regular smoke that is in the game, for some reason, you can see through. You can't see through regular smoke with a thermal scope, but you can see through incendiary grenades for some reason. I don't understand that. Like, why, if it's a thermal, can you see a body's heat through an open flame, but not through smoke? That doesn't really make sense. Now, granted, this is set in 2042, so it's a little bit futuristic. However, 2042 is not that far off. Like, in the grand scheme of things, that's, maybe 20 years into the future. Not a very long time if you really think about it. So it stands to reason that, of course, we're going to have IR blocking, smoke emitting stuff, whether that's a smoke grenade or something on like a tank or an aircraft. It makes sense that that would exist. Maybe not so much on an aircraft, but it makes sense it would exist. But also, why can you not see through an IR resistant smoke with a thermal scope? I don't really get it personally. I don't know a ton about the technology, to be honest, but I do know that IR can see through regular smoke grenades because the particles don't block specifically infrared light in the same way that it blocks like regular light that you would see showing up on a thermal camera. However, it calls into question more so the deeper issue with the game, less of this is a smoke issue or this is a scope issue and they could fix it doing this. One, they're not going to fix it because this game is 3 years old at this point, and they were even debating about releasing any more seasons after Season 7. I'm kind of surprised they released Season 7, but I'm thankful that they did. Or they're going to, I guess, at the time of recording. Just a few days away. But my next problem with this is I've seen this conversation come up so many times. And even whenever I first started playing, which was not that long ago, probably about 6 to 8 months ago at most, I wondered, like, I equipped a thermal sight because I started playing a map where everyone was using smoke constantly, which makes sense. And I couldn't see through it. I thought something was wrong with the game. So I started doing research into it at the time, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, I guess you guys can't see through smoke with thermals in this game, which doesn't make sense because coming from COD, you can definitely see through smoke with thermals. And my question then turned to why? Why did they do this? Why did the devs do this? And it's become more apparent to me now that people really don't realize exactly how much of a rush job this was. Now, from people who are sort of more of my background, it seems that we know coming from Call of Duty that Activision and Infinity Ward have put like a massive rush on like the last 5 CODs that have come out. Probably the ones before that too, but I just don't know enough. You know, I don't really care enough to go back that far because I didn't play COD until Black Ops 3, and I didn't really play it until Black Ops 4, and then I played Cold War as well. And at that point, skill-based matchmaking had pissed me off so much that I got into the top 3% of players and quit because I was done with that shit. And then I moved to Battlefield. But once you start really playing Battlefield, you notice that, damn, these maps kind of suck. And take that with a grain of salt, because it may seem like, oh, you know, you're a COD player, and so Battlefield may seem like it sucks to you just because you're not used to it. No, I'm very well and used to it now. I wish my phone would shut the fuck up behind me. Hold on. I'm pretty well and used to it at this point because, I mean, I've gotten pretty decent at the game. I play with a decently sized group of people. They've taught me a lot about it. I've learned a lot about it on my own. However, I have noticed very, very obviously that not a lot of thought was put into this game at all. The TDM maps are like the worst amalgamations of little slivers cut out of conquest maps, like regular, you know, main game, I guess what I would call main modes for the game. The TDM maps are just like a singular little tiny cutout of that, and it works, it functions. It's just not very good because it's extremely asymmetrical, and some of them are too big for the amount of players that you have. But to be honest, Battlefield isn't a TDM game. But that's another issue that you can tell where they were like rushing like crazy to push this out. In COD, you notice the rush in things like, oh, yeah, turns out Vanguard was made in like 6 or 7 months, and Sledgehammer was pulling like 16-hour shifts for each dev and just trying to get the game done. Modern Warfare 3, 2023's Modern Warfare 3, very clearly rushed. It was supposed to be a DLC for Modern Warfare 2, to the point that Steam even marked it as a DLC. It's the same game. They were rushed to put it out. A lot of shit didn't work when it came out. A lot of shit still doesn't work, and if it does work, chances are it doesn't work right. And with Battlefield, what you'll see is a lot of the maps are so freaking huge. And I like that they're huge, don't get me wrong. I love 128. 128 is my favorite game mode in the game. Conquest 128. And that's a new addition with 2042 that they apparently had to rebuild the entire Frostbite engine to make 2042 work, which is the engine that Battlefield has run on for several, or at least 2 releases that I know of for sure, 2042 and Battlefield 4. I don't know about 3 or any prior. Probably at least 3 as well. But they had to rebuild the engine from the ground up just to make 2042 work, especially with that many players. And I remember it was all over, you know, game journalism news type deals where 2042 was not going to have a lot of destructibility because they had such a time crunch to push the game out that they didn't have time to work out the nitty-gritty details of every little tiny thing while they were working on it. And I do understand that they wanted to get it out quickly, but it shows real greed from EA that they pushed it out for right with the release of that generation's COD, and it really hurt the game. And when it comes down to it, you can see that the maps, they're really only maps made for 128. There really are only maps made for 128, it seems, because if you play 64 on Conquest 64, it's the same map sets. The sites are a little bit different. Sometimes they're more conglomerated, sometimes they're further apart. They'll be in different areas, but the map is just a ghost town. It'll be so freaking empty unless you're at like the very epicenter of where the main combat struggle is going on. It just feels empty. And then you can see that there's just like way too much armor in 64. Like, they changed the health of tanks from Battlefield 4 to Battlefield 2042 to where it's pretty difficult to take out a tank by yourself unless it's already wounded. It is definitely doable. I do it all the time. I love going around tank busting with my people that I play with. But it's a lot different. The respawn rates in 64 are, I think, just the same as 128 for armor, that is. I believe I saw a match the other day where there were 2 tanks, 3 helis out at one time on one team. That's insane for 64. I mean, I'm talking a Super Hind. That's what, 5 players. You've got a main gunner, 2 side gunners, that's 3, a pilot, that's 4, and then the 2 bays, so that's 6. That's, my math may be off. That's 6 players, I believe. Then you've got 3 tanks. That's potentially that's 4 and 4 is 8, and then we'll say a rail tank just to be nice. That's 2. So we've got 10, and then so we got 16 players out of a 32-player team that are all in armor. And then there was a stealth heli up as well, which is 2. So that's 18 players out of 32 on one team, just in armor. Like how is that? How does that make sense? You know. So whenever you look into it, you can tell they added 64 because 64 really only works for like some of the last gen consoles. There's a guy that plays with the group that I'm in, and he can't play 128. His device will crash. He's on console. I think he's some version of Xbox. I don't know. I've always had PlayStation until I got my PC. So he's on one of the Xboxes, but he literally cannot play 128 with us because it will crash his machine. That is absurd. So I get why they added 64. Plus, that kind of, you know, that's what they've always done. That's been their bread and butter. But you can definitely tell the game was built around 128. And it's caused some problems for them in the long run because they really didn't have it all worked out by the time they needed to release it. And it's caused a lot of issues. So where I'm getting to with this, I've kind of gone off a tangent there. But where I'm getting to with this is the smoke grenade thermal scope issue seems to be, to me, it's my opinion, that they had to have something to counteract these huge maps that half the time is just a wide open field. Like I'm talking like Kaleidoscope, Hourglass. What's another good one? Spearhead. Spearhead's not nearly as bad. Spearhead's actually pretty manageable. That's my favorite map personally. A lot of people are gonna hate that, but you can definitely tell that they added smoke to help people traverse the map. And to be honest, that is a very good function for it. It works very, very well. But the problem is, if you got one guy with a suppressed LMG and a thermal scope that can see through all that smoke, I mean, half your team is just, bam, instantly dead. I mean, you're going to have the off chance that somebody can, you know, suss him out, find him through the smoke just based on where the shots are coming from. Maybe somebody's closer to him. Maybe somebody just happens to be behind him. It's not going to work out every time, obviously, such is the nature of Battlefield. But that's the problem. They had to have something that they could quickly add to get the game out and not have to worry about it that would fix this balancing issue of there's going to be a lot of smoke because you have to have that much smoke to get all these people across these wide open spaces. I mean, the maps were so damn open that they had to rework them after the game, like pretty soon after the game came out. They had to, from what I understand, they rebuilt, I believe, Spearhead. I know they rebuilt Kaleidoscope, and Kaleidoscope is still just a barren wasteland of nothingness. I'm talking an open field for like what seems like 2 miles. From one end to the other, it's just a wasteland of nothing, like no man's land. It's insane. I mean, you get caught out in the open and there's any type of vehicle out there, you are screwed. But it really becomes apparent that they were rushed and that they added these things and didn't seem to put much care into them other than, okay, it works, it's good enough, send it. And these people are asking for these unrealistic fixes that we may see in the next game, but we're definitely not going to see in this one. And it's not a major point of contention with me to see people complaining about it because it makes sense. And if you don't complain, you don't make your voice heard, then nobody's going to see it and nothing's going to change. I just wanted to throw out my opinion in that it's a deeper problem. People are worried about the small things and paying attention to the little here and there, but it's not as, you know, it's not such a little thing. It's the whole game is a problem. And I still love it, and I'm still going to keep playing it. But it's not maybe what you think. Anyways, let me know what you guys think because it is definitely a huge issue, and I'm almost 100% positive we're going to see a change in the future. But, you know, I want to know what we're thinking for now.
What the fuck?
Okay. I'm coming.
Friendly down! Let's get up! I got you! Don't do that! Fool!
Oh, what?
All in the tunnel. I need help in the tunnels.
Coming back.
Coming with.
They're pushing.
Is the baby out? Come.
There's a dozer down.
Lot.
I hit him with an ensign. Got two.
They're coming up. They're coming up. The others are still alive. Left side.
Sticky shit. I'm dead. That's my 4th sticky shit. I'm being res.
I'm sticky shit.
Wow.
Airburst.
Yeah, me too.
I need ammo. If I got big ammo.
Tango down! Not moving!
No, me.
Grenade out!
Oh, shit. Dozer.
Dozer's dead.
Ah, they got me. On the stairs. No.
Ammo here!
And watch the iron.
Defense is rigged!
Grenade. Grenade.
You left the engagement.
I hit a bunch of them with that.
Hostiles have taken great
Oh,
losses. Our victory is close.
Grenade. Run.
No, you.
Sorry, man.
They got one of us!
Dozer coming. Dozer coming.
Grenade! Shit's getting real!
Oh my god, how am I still alive? Spawn on me.
Behind you with me. Ah,
I'm dead. Dude, she's hitting crazy shots with that thing.
Dropping some ammo here!
I'm down.
Friendly on the ground! Fucking stay awake! Defense is up! Ooh.
Oh, there's a dozer right fucking there.
ah, shit.
Our troops now hold Delta Sector.
I can't spawn. Okay.
Oh, fuck. I'm dead, man.
You left the engagement area.
Ooh, got somebody with that.
Dropping some...
Nope.
American forces are retreating. Mission successful.
This should give me a badge for all the sticky shit stuck on me.
They do, it's white stains.
5 of them.
I mean,
It's a chunky mayonnaise.
Make him.
I think you're gonna
Make
get
him wear
a big tour. A big tour with a chain.
No, make him wear a Monica Lewinsky dress or something.
Or a diaper with shit hanging out of it.